Man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna cook me an egg. Oh man, that's disgusting. I ain't cooking nothing on that pot. I gotta do something about that first. So what are some of the things I'm gonna need to make this pot look right? Well, one thing I'm gonna need is a potato. Coarse salt. Sea salt's fine, but any coarse salt will do. A knife. Woo! A cutting board's nice. And, of course, a dirty pot. Step one. Take knife in your right hand, if you're right-handed. If you're not right-handed, use your left hand. Place potato on cutting board. Slice potato in half. Woohoo, that's fun. Set this aside. Set this aside. Set that aside. Set that aside. Get your dirty pot. Put it in front of the camera. Get your salt. See, the salt is, well, it's food safe, and it's a coarse salt. It's an abrasive. So you sprinkle a couple teaspoons of salt in there. You take the camera and knock it over. You take your potato, place in salt, and go to town. And the rust and the gunk that had built up on this pan, this is a garage sale find I had found, and it was nasty, but I knew with this little trick it could be brought back to life and be made into a good pan again. So I'm just gonna scrub and scrub and scrub with that salt solution. And I'm not putting nasty chemicals in here. That's the nice thing. I'm not having to use anything, any kind of chemicals or anything that's overly abrasive. I don't want to, strip the pan down naked. I just want to get the nastiness off and the rust that was built up on there. So the salt does that. The potato gives me something to do it with. That's, again, it's food safe. Heck, it is food. And just in a few seconds here, this pan is already looking a whole lot better than what it did just a few seconds ago. So I'm going to take this. Look how nasty that is. That's disgusting. The gunk that's built up on that. I'm going to set that aside. Then I'm going to come over to the sink. Now, you don't ever want to put soapy water in your cast iron. Most people know that. But I'm going to rinse this with good hot water and look at it and see what it looks like. Now, here we are at my 1970s vintage sink. Don't you love the yellow? Hey, it still works, so why not keep using it until it don't work no more? That could be a long time for this thing actually wears out. So I'm going to rinse this pot. Look at all the gunk coming out of there. And it just took me a couple of seconds to get the rust that was in there out and get some of the gunk that had built up. And this pan is looking a whole lot better. Now, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's still a little bit around the edges here that I'd like to get. So I'm going to go back with the other half of the potato, the clean half. And I'm going to give her one more shot. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I'll put a little bit of, let me get the excess water out of there. I don't want my salt to dissolve. So I'm going to put some more salt. I'm going to take my potato, and I'm going to give her another go and edit it. And really work these edges with this potato and this salt, and just kind of go at it and go at it and go at it. And I can see my salt's turning brown, so I am lifting some of the gunk off. Yucky. All right, now I'm thinking that looks a lot better. With a little more, just a few more steps, and I'll have this pan back in frying order. All right, so back to the sink. All right, more hot water. Just give it a good rinse. Make sure you get all the gunk out. Oh, that's hot. It's really hot. I didn't mention this was hot water, right? Now this pan looks a whole lot better. I would almost say this is ready, but I'm going to re-season it. I think it's important to keep your seasoning, keep your cast iron well seasoned. Food doesn't stick, and it's just healthier. I think you're not going to get gunk in your pan. You want to seal it up real good with a good coat of seasoning. So of course, most people know how to do that. You're going to take a little bit of, make sure it's dry, and I like to put my cast iron in the. Some people just go ahead and put the oil on, but I like to heat my cast iron first. I'll stick it in the oven for about 20 minutes or so, like 200 degrees, 250. Just warming the pan up. I might even go 300, but I want to bake it to where it's not so hot I can't handle it. So 200, 250 usually. I'll stick it in there for 20 minutes or so, get the pan good and warm. Then I'll take a paper towel and a little vegetable oil and just coat it real good. And having it hot, preheated, in my opinion, allows the oil to seep in better into the pores. And then I'll stick it back in the oven and let it for about another 30 minutes or so, and let those seasonings really get in there real good, or let the oil really get in there and coat it and get into the pores. And then presto, you've got a cast iron pan that you bought at a garage sale for a couple of bucks that's going to last you. If you take care of it, you'll give it to your kids one day, and they can pass it down to their kids. I mean, they just don't wear out if you take care of them. They're great. Anyway, that's it. So now let me finish this up so I can finish cooking my egg, because I really am hungry.